Oh, so this looks bad. This makes it look like I only make Premier League verdicts whenever Chelsea win, but promise that's not the case. I've missed the last couple of games. I didn't even get to watch the West Ham game last night because, that's just another little secret. I have been working for the last 2 weeks. I know.
Sure, that Aaron Kelly fella wouldn't work on batteries.
But I actually have genuinely been working the last 2.5 weeks, so I have actually not seen the Everton game in full. I've not seen the Wolves game in full, and I didn't see last night's West Ham game in full, but I have seen all the highlights, and I can give a pretty decent opinion on it now. And as you probably have guessed, we are only going to be talking about Chelsea in this video, so without further ado, let's get into it. Hello guys, how are you getting on? My name is Aaron Kelly. Welcome back to another episode of the Premier League Verdict. This chair looks and feels like it's about to collapse from under me. Hang on. Also, do we rate the Christmas jumper? What are we saying? Ratings out of 10. Yeah? Let us know in the comments. So it's been a pretty mad couple of days. I was going to say a couple of weeks, but it's been a mad couple of days / maybe a week for Chelsea Football Club, hasn't it? Our unbeaten run of what I found out was, I think it was around 17 games, spanned all the way back as far as September, was broken last weekend when we lost to Everton by 1-0. And because I haven't been, talking about the games, we've 3 games to talk about in today's video, and the Everton game is the one I'm going to start with. It was a 1-0 defeat. I think it was a Gylfi Sigurdsson penalty, and after Edouard Mendy took down Calvert-Lewin in the box, there was absolutely no doubt that it was a penalty. And to be fair, the performance, I don't even think, from what I heard anyway, wasn't even that bad against Everton. From what I heard, Chelsea hit the woodwork on a couple of occasions. Reece James hit the post. Mason Mount had another good chance where he tried to lob Jordan Pickford, who was left in no man's land. But apart from that, from what I've heard about the Everton game, it was just a lot of huff and puff and just quite unlucky to not come away with anything really. And the penalty incident itself, it's very clumsy from Edouard Mendy, a man who's made very few mistakes since he has signed for Chelsea. It's this one, he tries to come a long way to try and punch this ball. In the end, Calvert-Lewin just nips in front of him and he ends up just absolutely ploughing him out. But no doubt about the penalty, Sigurdsson stuck it away and inflicted a defeat onto Chelsea. And that poor mindset and poor run of form ran into our next game against Wolves, where we actually took the lead thanks to an Olivier Giroud deflected shot, but Wolves then got a deflected equaliser of their own through Podence. I think it was actually a 95th minute winner from Pedro Neto, and I was actually on my way in the car to work that evening. I was keeping tabs on the scores, and I seen this came up and my heart just absolutely fucking dropped. And when I came home that evening, I watched the highlights, and to be honest, a lapse of concentration from the team as a whole. Not great defending by Kurt Zouma to allow Pedro Neto to get the shot off. Still a good finish by Pedro Neto, but that defeat for me knocked us out of a potential title race. And I know a lot of Chelsea fans are talking right now about, the title race. It's still on, especially after, last night's victory, but not for me. I think especially with the way particularly Liverpool are performing at the minute, you can't go on this kind of run around this very important time of the year and expect to still be in a title race come May. In my opinion, I think in this league, you need to be particularly flawless. Obviously, Liverpool have only lost once. It was a terrible defeat, but they've been absolutely flawless ever since then. They picked up a 7-0 win the weekend. Man United picked up a 6-2 win over Leeds and still have a game in hand with the potential to go second. But we'll move on to Chelsea's game last night then, and it was a 3-0 victory back to winning ways over West Ham United. Thiago Silva gave us the lead after 10 minutes. After an early scare, Declan Rice with a really, really good finish to actually seemingly give West Ham the lead, but it was rightfully ruled out for offside. It was actually a really good finish. Round Edouard Mendy buried it, but luckily Thiago Silva buried a fantastic header after a really good corner from Mason Mount to give Chelsea the lead. And for a lot of the game, it kind of looked like it was, going to stay that way. But it was 2 late goals from Tammy Abraham which made the game safe for Chelsea. The first was a failed shot, really, from Timo Werner, which turned out into a perfect pass for a Tammy Abraham tap-in. He also had another tap-in then when a Mount cross was punched by Fabianski, and Abraham was there to bury the rebound. And a good win, a big win, especially against the West Ham side that actually did the double over us last season. I just hope now that on St. Stephen's Day, or Boxing Day as the English call it, that we can go to Arsenal and get a win. Obviously Arsenal are having an absolutely torrid time of it at the minute. I think they're on a run of 3 or 4, maybe even 5 defeats on the bounce. And if Brighton had beaten Sheffield United at the weekend, Arsenal would have actually gone to 16th in the table. And now because of Burnley's win over Wolves last night, Burnley are only a point behind the Gunners. And if Chelsea can win on Boxing Day, that would be absolutely massive. Like, just don't be the team to let Arsenal win, because like Arsenal are the most banterous team in the league right now. I think even Arsenal fans watching this can agree that Arsenal are the most banterous team in the league this season. Chelsea, please do not be the ones to let Arsenal win. And to be honest, if I'm looking at that game, if Arsenal fail to win it, or especially if they lose it, it could spell the end for Mikel Arteta. And I don't think that's in any fault of his own. I think it's just at a point now where if Arsenal keep losing games, there is a slight possibility that come the end of the season, they may just be in and around that relegation square. I can't believe I'm even saying this. Arsenal Football Club. But I think the board will be looking at it now and saying we need to get a bounce out of the players. A bounce that would be gotten if we bring in a new manager. And it's not the way it should work. Do I think it's right? Absolutely not. But I think it's just the thing that Arsenal might need, especially if they go and lose to Chelsea on Boxing Day. I mean, I think on paper, Chelsea should win the game. Arsenal, this is as bad as I have ever seen an Arsenal team, and I've seen Arsenal through the absolute, seemingly the depths. But this here, ladies and gentlemen, this is the depths of the table right now. But back on to last night's win over West Ham, and performance-wise, as Frank Lampard said in his post-match interview, it certainly was not vintage. I think Timo Werner should have had 2, and that's one thing that a lot of Chelsea fans are establishing, is the poor form of both Timo Werner and Kai Havertz. Obviously Havertz was left out last night. Havertz is obviously just coming back from having COVID, and from what I've heard, he actually had it pretty badly. But even before he had COVID, I still haven't been overly convinced by Kai Havertz so far, and I think Frank Lampard definitely made the right decision to drop him last night. And I think only for the injuries to Callum Hudson-Odoi and Hakim Ziyech, I think Werner would not be in the team right now either, to be honest. I think Pulisic did well last night, and I gotta, give a lot of praise to the likes of Tammy Abraham and Olivier Giroud, obviously both fighting for that number 1 spot. And when they both come in, they both do the business, they both do what they're put on the pitch to do, and that's score goals. Thiago Silva, absolutely brilliant once again. Again, I didn't see the full game, I just seen extended highlights. The one worrying part was an early injury to Ben Chilwell as well, which Emerson has to replace him very early on. So hopefully it's not too serious and he is fit for Arsenal on Boxing Day. But it's the perfect way for Chelsea to go into Christmas. 5th in the table, and I think a win over Arsenal would be absolutely massive. Do I think we're still in a title fight? Not really. I really don't. I think obviously we're only 6 points off Liverpool, but you have to look at how good Liverpool were the weekend. To score 7 against Crystal Palace is absolutely brilliant, and every single goal was absolutely outrageous. And now we're being forced to focus on Manchester United as well, who are just kind of slowly creeping up on the teams up the top, and now have a chance to go second, as I mentioned earlier on in the video. But Chelsea just need to keep tipping along. Hopefully this win last night is the catalyst for another good run of form, hopefully an unbeaten run of form. I am now back on YouTube, fully, committed to uploading consistently again. The last 2.5 weeks between college and work has just been absolutely bedlam. Also, while you're here as well, make sure you go and subscribe to the Shy Talk Podcast YouTube channel, because we have a Christmas podcast, myself and Jack, coming out on Christmas Day. So you can all listen to it if let's be honest, if you have nothing better to do, is what I'm saying. Also, subscribe to this channel as well if you are new, lads, and leave a like on the video if you did enjoy. Yeah, happy Christmas to you. I think this might be the last video before Christmas. I might get to upload another Among Us video before Christmas as well. We'll see. But for now, I will catch you later.
But when we out all night, do the shit we like, we living for that, we living for that, yeah. When the sun comes on and the fruits are gone, we living for that, we living for that, yeah.